just like slouch down? What the hell? Just sit like this? No. Every time I go to record, I feel like I get my shot. And then I feel like it cuts my head off, which really sucks. I don't want it to, but oh well. And let's already go ahead and call it out. As my grandma would say, what do you got, a hole in your mouth? I spilled when I was drinking some water. I spill all the time. Not so fun fact. I am super clumsy, so it's interesting that my career choice in life was professional wrestler. Oops a doodle. But depends who you talk to. Maybe some would say, sounds about right. Okay, now I'm like, I watched that back and I was like, dude, my audio's off. I didn't have my microphone turned on. So now this is my now you're seeing what I go through when I'm like trying to get everything all together. It's a lot of work. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back to see if the microphone's working now. Is this not working? Hello, hello, hello. And then what happens if I put it right here? La la la. All right, I think I got it. If it's not perfect, oh well, because life isn't perfect, right? So I hope you guys had a good week. Today is Sunday. I had a pretty cool weekend, actually. I'll get into that in a second. And I thought, I haven't done a YouTube vlog for a while. Like I do my daily vlogs, Monday through Friday. I try to do them over on Shelly Martinez Vlogs on YouTube. If you're not subscribed, go over there, check it out. All the links are below. ShellysLinks.com. Just go there. Go to ShellysLinks.com. It's all. I have taken the time and effort to put it all out there for you. So go check it out. But before we get into my weekend, I just thought there's a couple things that happened this weekend that were interesting. That doesn't make sense. Before we get into the weekend, before I get into what I did this weekend, something I learned was I'm rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. But that's okay. I lost a lot of followers on Twitter. I have people just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with yourself here? Like, you're doing clips for sales. You got your secret society. You got your OnlyFans. Is your Patreon still going on? Now you got a foot thing. What is wrong with you, Shelly? Well, let me tell you what's wrong with me. Nothing. Now, something that I learned in my wrestling career was early on when I first started training, I was told that I really couldn't do acting and modeling and wrestling, that I needed to dedicate myself just to wrestling if that's what I was going to do. So I did. I'm not saying I didn't do any modeling and acting in between, but I didn't really focus so much on it versus how I was about wrestling. It was like going to training, going to the shows on the weekend, putting the ring up and down, things like that, paying my dues. So I focused all my energy on that before like getting gigs, right? And it kind of pissed me off later on in life because it's like, dude, I could have totally been doing both the whole entire time. Like, kind of like how I quit TNA. A lot of people were like, well, what happened? It's very simple, very simple. So, long story short, LAX was feuding with Team 3D. And I got this opportunity to be a lead in an independent film. Now, this is the part that's very misleading. When I first copied and pasted and was retweeting what the production was putting out there, which was it's an Italian thriller inspired film. People thought I was going to Italy. No, I didn't go to Italy. I've been to Italy once. That's when I was Ariel in WWE. That's the only time. So I got this opportunity to be the lead in this film. It was only going to take like a week to film. Super low budget, independent film. And at this point in my career in wrestling, I was like, you know what? I was really seeing that I could be doing both. I didn't have to choose wrestling over doing gigs. Like, I can do both. And at that time, the reason why it became very clear to me was because I had moved back from Kentucky to California. And I just was like, dude, I could totally do this. Like, ugh. So when the shoot date came up, there was a pay-per-view the weekend before we started shooting. I think we started shooting like on a Monday or Tuesday. And so on that weekend, there was a pay-per-view in Canada. And I had proposed to TNA that I told them, I said, let me go do this film. I'll take a week off of TNA. What if at the pay-per-view, I go through a table, because it's Team 3D, if I go through a table and that'll keep me off, like, character wise on TV, and then I'll come back. They said, well, why don't you come to Canada and we'll figure it out. And I just didn't trust that. No offense. My gut was, they're going to not let you go back to California. They just want you to get to the pay-per-view. I have never been told that that was the case. That was just my gut. Just saying for the record before anyone gets mad at me out there. So I then said, okay, this was in September and my contract was due for renewal in that October. Now, by the looks of things that they were at that point, it seemed like LAX was, still thriving. So it didn't seem like I was going to be going anywhere. I'd get re-signed. So in my contract, it said that if I was there for a year, when the year came up, I was eligible for $100 raise. So I told them, if you give me the $100 raise starting now, I'll stay. I'll blow this film off. I won't do it. And in my head, I'm thinking they're going to have to find a new lead actress. Because again, I'm choosing wrestling over acting. And they said no. So I got offended that they couldn't give me an extra $100 measly. And the reason why I wanted that bump ahead of time is I was super broke when I was in TNA. I was trying to live off the money that I had acquired in WWE. And then on my off days, I would try to land gigs. And that's when I started going back into doing modeling and acting. And I really wanted to represent the company, actually, TNA. There was a couple times, Jeff Jarrett, I had mentioned to him that I wanted to do some publications. I told the writing team, nothing ever happened. And it's fine. At the time, I was super butthurt about it, but looking back now, I'm fine. I'm fine with everything that's worked out in my life and what didn't work out to lead me to sitting right here with my Vampire Girl shirt on. You can get yours at my Teespring store, link below, or shellyslinks.com. So it's fine. But at the time, it was really frustrating. So that's why I was like, it was like a slap to my face that they couldn't at least give me $100 more a month to stay with the company and to, and there was times like my heat would get shut off and me and Danielle, we would have no gas, and we would take cold showers, and we had a fireplace in this really cute condo that we lived in at that time, and we would use that to heat up the condo. So it was rough, but yet I was on TV every week. It was crazy, right? But that's just what was up. So when that happened, that really made me feel like I can't do both. Because it's like I had an opportunity. It was like I had to choose, and I chose to quit and go with the film. And I never even seen it. I never even seen that film. Oh my goodness. But yeah. So this whole thing with like I got all this different kinds of content. Some people are very turned off by it. Some people are like, whatever. Some people are like, oh, cool. And some people are like, yeah, that's how Shelly is. She's been doing her thing for years. For me, it's like, you know what? I'm sorry if what I do offends you. I'm sorry if my content offends you, because when I create my content, it's not to offend anybody. And there are times where I'm like, ooh, I wish like maybe I didn't put that out there, or maybe I didn't shoot that or whatever. But I do take pride in what I do. And the way I look at it is when I'm shooting my own content, or I have somebody that I know that's shooting my content, but I'm in charge of putting it together, there's a real power that's come with that, And I used to think it was just, oh, like Patreon made me realize that because I was finally making money. When I started making more money than I did in TNA, I was like, wow, this is awesome. And then OnlyFans, when I restarted my OnlyFans, and then my Secret Society back in the day when I first started it, it's like all these different things showed me that I can do it myself. And now I'm realizing that even though I have links galore, that's what I'm doing. And instead of me going on auditions or submitting myself for different things, I'm creating the content, or the fan is sending me, this is what I want. Will you do it? Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no. Sometimes it's like, well, I'll do this, but not that. You know what I mean? I'm calling the shots. I say when, I say who. And that's why I'm just like, you know what? It sucks to feel that judgment, but I'm not going to let it stop me because I've let people before stop me from doing what I need to do. Everything happens for a reason. Even when I end up doing stuff that maybe I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. Not really, because it brought me different experiences. It brought me connections with different people. And that's what life's about. Experiences, connecting with people. And I'm just trying to figure this life thing out myself too, people. Like, before you're quick to judge me, it's like I'm trying to figure it out too. And this has just been my path. This is what my destiny was. My destiny was to do all the different things that I've done in life, whether they were right for me or not. That's just what's up. So anyways, let's get into, already 10 minutes in, let's get into the vlog. So on Saturday, I decided that I wanted to go to the cemetery to go put some flowers on my grandma's grave. Not only is my grandma there, but of course my grandpa's next to her. My dad's buried at the same cemetery, and my cousin who died at age 13. So something that, especially in the summertime, I told Danielle, I was like, we need to make more of an effort to go to the cemetery. And let me show you some snaps that I had, and I think some were from snaps and some were just on my phone, just capturing moments. So this was Saturday. Well, we decided to come put some flowers on my grandma's grave. There's a little Mertz. Look at him. And this is Minnie's first time coming to the cemetery with us. Hi, Minnie. What do you think? It's nice here, huh? Danielle looks cute too. Something I told Danielle that I really wanted to make more of an effort of is to come and put flowers. Because I used to be like, my grandma is not here anymore, like blah, blah, blah. But I was like, you know what? No. Like it's all about paying honor and tribute to people. And that's part of celebrating life. Right, Pumpkin?
Yes, absolutely.
After we were at the cemetery, we went and headed over to my mom's house because we had their holiday gifts. And we were going to ship them out, but I thought, you know what? Why not do the old pop-in? And the reason why it was really important to me was because going back to my TNA days, Danielle and I lived in this really cute condo in Claremont, California. Shout out to Claremont. And when we lived there, we lived like, okay, there was like our condo and then like the carport, right? And on the other side of the carport was a cemetery. So we literally lived next to the cemetery, and we would hear funerals all the time. We would see them, whatever. And what I used to do is I used to walk the Mertzes in the center where, cars can drive around. So it'd be like, not walking on graves or anything. And something that I always would pray is that God would show me something cool. That's it, just something cool. And so one day, and I totally have vlogged this before. I got to see if I can find it. But one day, when I said that prayer, I saw this older gentleman, and he had this really cool Cadillac, and he was at a grave, and he had this awesome like big band music kind of playing, and I saw him get choked up, and then he like got himself back together and then rearranged the flowers and said that's how she'd want it to be. And that's when I realized, like, dude, that's totally the meaning of life. To leave an impact on at least one person so much that they will go and do that, kick it with you at your grave when you're not there. So then the next week I was like, I wonder if he's there again. So I went the same time. Sure enough, there he was. So I kept going back and I was like, wow, this truly is the meaning of life, that he dedicates this day to go and do this, right? So years and years had gone by. And then I was like, I'm really curious. I want to go see if that guy's there. And he was. And I got it on camera. That's why I got to find it. I was like, I told the story before I even went into the cemetery. And I was like, dude, I wonder if he's going to be there. And he was. And so I totally got it on camera. And I think about that story a lot, or that moment rather. And something I told Danielle was like, dude, grandma deserves that. And my grandma used to take us, me and my cousins, to the cemetery all the time growing up. And I knew that meant a lot to her. So I think it would have made her sad to know that no one really goes to her grave. And the first time we started to do it and make it more of, I said, we got to go at least once a month. When we went, you could tell no one had been there for a really long time. Not for her, not for my cousin, and not for my dad. Their headstones were terrible, so we cleaned them up or whatever. And so the same thing kind of goes with like my mom and her husband. It's like, if we lived close by, and let's say it wasn't the age of the corona, we would do the pop-in. So why the hell not? We'll stay outside. In fact, I was down just to drop them off and say whatever. But my mom's husband, he was in the front yard. So like we ended up kicking it for just like maybe an hour, maybe not even an hour. And it was really awesome, you know. And then, before we went there though, we went to this really cute winery, and we stocked up on some wine. I got a piece of hair right here. It's driving me nuts. A winery, and it's we've been there before. I had a wine tasting there. It's just a cute place. It's such a shame that things are the way they are, so we couldn't stay there, but we definitely got some wine for the house, and I got some champagne that I am saving for my birthday, which is February 9th. So yeah, it was a good Saturday, you know, and the dogs were fine. We took them with us, and Fred was cool. Like, he had a couple moments, but we had his medication and everything. Ooh, his medication and everything. So, you know what's funny is the microphone, I put it right here to help me out. And when I went to grab it, like sometimes when I do live streams and I have my bong, that's where my bong is, and I'll hold it. Anyways, so today again is Sunday, and something that's really been in my heart is I've been wanting to take Minnie on this hike that, if you've been watching my content for a while, you totally know that I love to go to Runyon Canyon, which is a pretty famous hike here in SoCal, especially in the Los Angeles area. She did pretty good. You know, there's a couple times we had to hold her and things like that, but she did really good. Here's a couple clips from just earlier today. Be Sunday fun day, Minnie. Gonna go on an adventure, Minnie. Gonna go on an adventure? Oh, Fred. Minnie representing the coyote vest here in Runyon Canyon. Her first time. Lots of people making comments about it. Yeah, Minnie. You did it, Minnie. What kind of merds? The ocean. I can't even tell you the last time I did this hike. You're so punk rock, Fred. Man, Hollywood used to enchant me. You don't even know. I loved Hollywood. Now it is sad old Hollywood, especially with the corona. Like, Ripley's is boarded up. Like, what? It is so sad and busted. Ugh. Well, that was my weekend, my little weekend vlog for you guys. You'll be seeing this on Tuesday, so happy Tuesday to you. And I'm going to be shooting, now that I'm done with this, lots of content for my OnlyFans, my Secret Society. I have a custom shoot to do, which is really awesome because it's Simpsons themed. And I got this really cute comic book that I got years ago on Free Comic Book Day. One of my fans sent it to me, a bunch of Simpsons comics on Free Comic Book Day. See, it says it's on there. What year? 2015. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week and sending you guys lots of positive vibes, love and light, and just try to keep your head up. I know the world's a crazy place right now. It sucks, but hey, we're all in this together, right? All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Adios.